Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today we're going to relieve some boredom with some freebies on the internet. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so in today's video we're going to try and remedy the fact that we're all bored AF. We are all stuck indoors, well, pretty much most of the world, so I thought I'd make a quick video on some of the things you can do using the internet, believe it or not, to actually entertain yourselves. Who'd have thought it? So let's go to the computer and I will introduce a website and somewhere where you can have some fun. Okay, so to make a short story longer, this is the start of the journey. So I am a regular on the website, Hot UK Deals, which is a deal site in the UK where there's hot deals. I think that pretty much explains it. But essentially every day they have updates from contributors and there's lots of things you can save money on, etc. And to be honest with you, this is where I find a lot of my bargains. But today we were looking at gaming and video games, and I noticed this from one of the regular contributors, Buzzduraband. Thanks go out to him for posting this. And basically it's about the free Internet Archive. So the Internet Archive has basically got lots and lots of things that you can do, access, watch, listen, etc, etc. Hours and hours of entertainment, depending on what you're after. Now, mostly this particular post is based on retro gaming. So if retro gaming is your thing, and you like a bit of Treasure Island Dizzy, or a little bit of School Days, or maybe if you're old enough, some Horace Goes Skiing, then this is definitely going to be right up your street. Now, there's other things like Spy vs. Spy, Escape from Planet of the Robot Monsters, which I've never heard of, but this basically allows you to emulate all of these individual consoles and games systems within a web browser. So you don't have to worry about downloading any software, you don't have to worry about downloading an emulator and having loads of ROMs on your computer, which potentially could be illegal if they are still under copyright. But this basically makes it a lot easier. Now, it doesn't just mean you can use games consoles. There's also a software library for MS-DOS. As you can see there, we've got SimCity Classic running. Also things like The Secret of Monkey Island, Roadrunner, don't know why that's in there, but here is an absolute list of all, well, some of the ones which Buzz has actually compiled for us as a quick link. So I will leave this entire list in the video description, so if you want to check out any of these individually, you can do. But what we are going to do is going to go over to the main website now, which is the Internet Archive. So let's click on there, and this is our landing page. So this is archive.org. and the main index. Now, for those of you that have used this before, there's a Wayback Machine, so if there's an old website you want to look up, you can put in the URL or keywords in there and you can find old websites which no longer are current on the internet. There are snapshots, but we're going to be interested more in the things down here. So there's web pages, there's 424 billion web pages, so that should keep you going for a little while. 25 million books, 5.7 million videos, 9.6 million audio clips, TVs, there's 2 million TV clips, games is where we're at. So in a moment, let's have a look at software. So in the collections, we've got all these different things, all these different libraries you can go to, etc. And you've got all sorts of options here. So we've got the Kodi Archive, Internet Archive, all these different things which you can choose. If you want to get yourself a CD-ROM, you can get a CD-ROM of an old version of Windows or something like that. So if you actually do want to build an emulator, you can download it all from there. Obviously, the legality of some of these links isn't entirely clear. You do have to take your kind of life in your own hands when you're downloading these things, but there shouldn't be any viruses or anything. These links are checked, but the legality of it is you may need to pay a fee for certain things. But like this, there's shareware, which you can get quite easily. And if you're old enough to remember TUCOWS, there's the TUCOWS software library there, so you can get involved with that. And various things like we've got the software library for the ZX Spectrum. How amazing is that? So let's go and have a look at one of the ones actually linked from Buzz's link. So let's go down and we'll check out something from, what should we try? Let's try some Atari 2600. So for those of you old enough to know, you'll possibly have had one of these wooden trimmed beauties in your living room at some point, and you'd have been gone to the local stores to hire a cartridge. Remember those days, hiring an actual cartridge? Well, these days you don't have to hire it, you can just use it straight away. So here's the links of all the games of pretty much every game which was ever released for this particular console. Can you call it a console? I suppose you can. There's also homebrew titles on here as well, so more modern titles which have been written in more recent years, so you can try those sorts of things. Again, let's have a look at what would be a classic. Let's have a look at Wizard of War, which was actually one of my favourites when I was younger. So this was a port of the 1981 arcade game, and all you need to do to actually play these things is to click on Begin in the middle, and it will start emulating it in front of you. Now, some of these items you can actually download as well, so if you do have an emulation system running, you can download the ROMs, etc. Again, legality wise, not too sure where you stand with that, but hey, it's on the internet, it's on a internet archive, so let's use it. So as you can see, this is running in the main backend, and it'll download the binaries. Our internet's a little bit on the slow side at the moment, so do bear with. And if you look down through, sometimes there'll be listings of what the controls are, that kind of thing, how to start the game, lots of information like that. Again, depends on the individual title. And there we go. There is Wizard of War being emulated on our very screens. You can turn the sound on or off, and you can also make it full screen if you wish to. Let's see, how do we get this going? And there we go. If only I knew the keys, that'd make life a lot easier. Well, P is definitely pulls. Ah, there we go. Okay, so not a great example there, as you can probably tell, because I'm not sure what the keys are. So let's have a look at something else from the Atari, something which may be a little bit more up your street. So actually that's a classic, Pitfall. Let's try Pitfall. And if you look down through, maybe there is reviews. PS Control to Jump. So there we go. Someone's actually added that. Looks like quite a few people have played. Ah, there we go. So P to pause the game, C to cycle the game, colour to black and white, as it was in the old days. Arrow key left, move left. Arrow key right to move right, and something to jump. So we'll have to find out jump. Anyway, you get the general idea. So all we do is click on play. It will load the metadata. And this shouldn't take too long because it was a tiny cartridge. And like I say, we can go into full screen. And yes, you can see that is basically the game. It looked bad back in the day, and yep, it still looks bad today. So let's have a look at some slightly better examples. So maybe let's try some PC classics and see what is available in our PC classics. So in PC classics, you've got things like Halo Combat Evolved. There's demos mostly here. Doom, got shareware. Quake, shareware. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Wolfenstein, Jetpack Christmas Special. All these kind of games. Diablo 2, there's a Need for Speed 2 demo. Again, a lot of these are demos, but again, if you want to relive those older games and you don't have them, then maybe the demo's all you need just to get that fixed out of your system. Sega Genesis, let's see what we've got in the Sega Genesis. That should be absolutely jam-packed, because there was an absolute ton. So yeah, we've got 558 different titles here for you to go through. And again, these will all be emulated pretty much spot on. So we've got Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat, Worms, Road Rash, all these classic titles. Absolutely amazing. It's bringing back memories already. Now, one thing you can do, obviously, if gaming isn't your thing and you just want to maybe learn something, or you actually want some other software, you can just go through software and you can go into various different things. So if you go to all software, and you can basically type in your search here. So maybe Windows 2000, for example. And we'll see what this brings up. We'll just notice there's the CD-ROM software collection. So there's basically ISOs there. And here we go. There's Windows 2000, various versions of Windows 2000. So if Windows 2000 is your thing and you want to download a version of it so you can use it, most of these have actually come from Digital River. I did have a little look at these earlier. Digital River was the kind of official distributor for ISOs back in the day. So pretty much most of those are going to be absolutely fine. Again, do check them, do run scans on ISOs, all that kind of stuff. But again, if that isn't your thing, there's books, hundreds and hundreds of books, videos. So if you want to see things like, there's a 9/11 thing there, which maybe slightly, possibly not what you want to see at the moment, but in all video, there's all sorts of things. Arts and music, movies, television archive, feature films. Obviously, feature films, if you're into that thing, that's going to be a fantastic thing to have a look through. Speedruns, if speedruns are your thing, it's all broken down. And again, if you want to, all you need to do is in this top section here, just type in what you want to watch, or a kind of thing. So religion, comedy, whatever you want to do, and chances are you'll find something which will take up some of your time on these isolation days if you're feeling a little bit bored or got a bit of time on your hands and you've got nothing better to do. So that is the website, so it's archive.org. You can go there, visit it. There's absolutely hundreds and hundreds of things you can check out. Again, the Wayback Machine is actually pretty cool. So if you go to somewhere like Microsoft for their, you can go through and see their web pages over the years and see various things. Yeah, relatively interesting if you like that kind of thing. So yeah, that pretty much wraps that up. So definitely something for everybody there. It may not be exactly what you want, but these days to get it for free and to get it on the internet without actually having to leave your house, which at the moment is pretty much impossible for most of us, there's definitely be something for somebody. If you want to play old retro games and you don't want to go through the hassles of downloading tons of ROMs and setting up a MAME emulator and all that kind of stuff, which in itself can be a hassle, nice and easy way to do it, just bookmark the site, go there, try out a few games, have a bit of fun for a few minutes or a few hours and take your mind off what is going on in the world around you. So there we go, there is a good time waster for you. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. If you've got any comments or questions or any favourite games, let us know in the comment section what they are, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.